Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Aaliyah. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys about my 2023 reading goals. As you guys are aware, I have made reading my whole personality this year. Reading is now my whole aesthetic. I am now a book girly. Growing up, I was like, when I'm 20, I'm going to be partying it up. I'm going to be living it up. I'm going to be clubbing. I'm going to be living my best life. And now, at the ripe age of 24, after work, I find myself laying on my bed and reading my book. And I'm like, if only I knew 10 years ago how I'll be living my 20s. But anyways, I really hope that you guys find some of the goals that I discussed in this video helpful. Maybe you guys, if you're a beginner into reading like me, you would want to add some of these goals to your reading list and feel inspired to read. I don't know, I just really hope that these goals that I discussed with you today, some of you guys might find it helpful. So without further ado, let's get into the goal. My first goal of 2023 that I really want to do is that I really want to read 40 books. I read 36 books last year, and I'm so proud of myself because in 2021, I only read one book. And then I went from reading one book to reading 36 books. And now this year, I really want to try to read 40 books. I was initially going to aim for 50 books, but as you guys know, I am starting medical school in the fall. And I'm just like, reading 50 books is not realistic for me, especially if I'm starting medical school. We know that medical school is rigorous. I'm gonna be crying every single day. I'm gonna be stressed out every single day. Like, I might not even have time to be reading like books the way that I used to. I really hope I don't lose this hobby, but I know that medical school is gonna be very rigorous, so I don't want to kind of give myself an unrealistic goal that I can't achieve. So I thought that reading 40 books would be such a great goal, especially because I read 36 books last year. So I was like, you know what, maybe 40 books is good. And also, based off my calculation, if I read 40 books this year, it means I need to read 3 books a month. And I feel like that's a realistic goal that I can achieve, especially because I read probably like 2 to 3 books last year, like every month. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like I can read 3 books a month. So you know what? Let me go ahead and put the goal for 40. I also really want to try to read books outside my normal reading genre. There's something about romance that gets me every single time. I am a romance girly. I love a good enemies to lover trope. I love a fake dating trope. I just love the concept of love. So all the books that I read last year were all romance books, but you can only read so much romance books before it starts to mentally take you. Like, I could only read so much of Colleen Hoover, but I just want someone to fall in love with me. I just want like an enemy to fall in love with me. I want a fake dating trope. Why is my life like this? So you can only read so much books before it finally gets to you. So you know what? I have decided for my mental health sake that it's time for me to start reading books outside my normal reading genre. And so that's why I really want to kind of experience with reading different genres, which is why another one of my goals is that I really want to read at least like 5 fantasy books. Like, I need to expand my imagination, and it seems like based off like the fantasy girls on booktok, booktube, Instagram, it seems like the fantasy girls are living it up. Like, the books that they're reading, they're really enjoying it. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to be a fantasy girly. I also really want to try to read at least like 3 historical fiction books. One of the main reasons why I don't like historical fiction is because it takes place in like the 1940s. It takes place in 1950s. And guys, look at me, I'm black. In the 1950s, I'm not even probably 99%, I would have been a slave. So why would I want to read books about like in the time that I would have been a slave? Like, why would I want to do that? Maybe I'm overthinking this whole thing, but I kind of want to try to read like historical fiction. I've already read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I actually did not know that that was actually historical fiction. The more you know. The more you know. So I kind of want to read like, the book Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Night Library. It seems like a really good like historical fiction book to read. So I kind of want to dip my toes into historical fiction as well. I also want to read more books written by people of color. A lot of the books that I read last year, honestly, it wasn't really like a diverse group of authors that I was reading. And I'll definitely say because I was just getting back into reading, and I would depend a lot on Pinterest, booktok, like on TikTok, Instagram Reels. And honestly, one thing about the algorithm that we already know, they push out one type of book, one type of author, like Colleen Hoover, Tessa. They don't really push out marginalized authors, underrepresented authors. They don't push out people of color. The more time I spent on BookTok, I started to find like kind of like a more diverse group of people who read like diverse groups of books. And so now that I finally found my people, I really want to expand and read more, you know, books written by people of color, but also I really want to read books where they have the main character, the main love interest, the main antagonist or the main protagonist is a person of color. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to read those types of books because I didn't get to read that growing up. And now that I'm older and that there's, you know, more representation, we're pushing more representation out there, I really want to be able to heal my inner child and read books where the author where it's written by like a Black author and the main character is a Black girl, a Black woman. I really want to read that. And so this year, I'm trying to read more books written by people of color. And so some of the books that are on my mind are like the Legendborn series. I also know that Terms and Condition, the main character is Black. I also want to listen to more audiobooks. My attention span is so low, so it's time for me to listen to audiobooks because I need to build on my attention span. And also, I'm a really bad listener because I find that anytime my friends are telling me a story, like after 10 seconds, I'm zoning out without knowing it. And I'm just like, what? Like, I can't hear them. And I'm like, can you repeat that? Can you repeat that? And so I really want to listen to audiobooks because I feel like these audiobooks could help me, you know, expand, you know, my attention span, help me become a, like, you know, better listener. But also, like, I think it's fun to be able to drive and listen to a book. Like, I find that extremely, like, fun. I want to read more self-help books. I don't like reading self-help books because I am already perfect. Like, why do I need to read self-help books? It's usually people who say they're perfect that needs help. It's usually people who say they don't need help that actually need help. I really want to start getting into more self-help books. I think my goal this year is to read at least like 3 self-help books. I really want to read more self-help books because I am moving into the next chapter of my life. I'm going back to school. And I really want to make sure that before I start school, I'm really confident, especially because I'm starting medical school. I want to go into medical school very confident, very sure of myself. I want to believe in myself. I want to believe in my capability, but I also don't want to care about what people think because in medicine, it's a lot of like critique. It's a lot of constructive criticism. And although I feel like I'm able to take constructive criticism just through, you know, my whole application process, always receiving criticism, always getting like negative feedback, it hurts you. Not only it humbles you, but it hurts your self-confidence. And I feel like being able to read self-help books and learning skills I can to like bounce back and motivate me, but also be unfazed by, you know, the different things that are happening in my life, I feel like that would be very helpful and essential in letting me, you know, grow and helping me become a better person. So I really want to try to read at least like 3 self-help books. I want to join a book club. I was in a book club growing up, in middle school, high school. I have no friends. Well, I have friends, but I have no friends who like reading books. And it hurts. You know how bad it hurts to read a really good book and have no one to talk to about it? So I really want to try to maybe join a book club or start a book club. I really want to make more friends that love reading books and just kind of be able to have a group of people where I can fangirl over books, where we can talk about books, our favorite books, get more book recommendations, talk about how we relate to the characters. I feel like that would be really fun, but also really help me get outside like my comfort zone because I'm always at home and all the friends that I have are friends from like high school and college, like friends I've already had since I was younger. And now that I graduated college, I'm no longer in that like academic setting where it's easier to make friends in. Now I'm like in the adult life, and you guys already know, if you're an adult, it's hard making adult friends. Like it's really hard. It's really hard. So I feel like joining a book club would really help me make new friends, but also I'll be able to have a group of people where I'm able to like, you know, fangirl over books with. And, you know, I feel like it'll be fun. Another one of my goals is to finish book series. Guys, if I had a dime for how many books that I read that were part of a series that I never finished a series, I'll probably have $100 right now. I have started so many series, like the Selection series, the Inheritance Game series, as well as I think I started the Ugly series, and then I just never finished the book. I never finished the series. I just would read the first book and then I'm like, okay, on to the next, on to the next. And it's really bad because then I'll start to forget what happened in the book and then I have to read the first book all over again. So what I want to do is that I really want to finish book series. Like if I start a book series and I really like it, I want to make sure I finish the series till the end before I move on to a new book. And so that's my goal, to finish a book series. I want to be a sustainable queen. Like we're in environmental crisis. Okay, climate change is real. And I personally have been contributing to it by buying books instead of checking out books from the library. I just kind of want to make sure I continue to check out more books at the library instead of buying books, especially because you're recycling, it helps the environment, you know what I mean? It saves paper, but also it's very sustainable. And also I feel like it's really nice to be able to just check out books from the library because public libraries don't often get a lot of funding. And the more people that have library cards, the more people that check out books from the library, the more funding that they get. And so I want to make sure I'm helping out, you know, the library system because I know the library has done so much, you know, in getting me into reading. It's my safe space, and I would hate for any public libraries to close down, and I would hate for them to like lose funding because I'm buying my books instead of checking out the same books I'm buying from the library. So I really want to make sure I'm checking out most of my books from the library. Last goal is that I want to have fun with it. Like reading is fun. I want to start doing fun activities with reading. I want to go on a Barnes and Noble date with myself. I want to take my friends on a Barnes and Noble date. I want to do the 24-hour reading challenge, the 48-hour reading challenge. I want to do the different challenges I see on Goodreads. I just really want to continue to have fun with reading books because reading is fun. Reading is cool. It's just so nice to be able to like open a book and get lost in the pages, to get lost in someone else's reality, to just have this imagination. It's just super nice. It's so much fun. And so I just want to make sure I continue to have fun with reading books. So those are all my 2023 reading goals. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment book recommendations for me, or maybe some of your reading goals that you have. I might want to steal some of your goals, but make sure to comment like reading recommendations, but also tell me, I want to hear some of your reading goals, the goals that you have this year if you're trying to read more books. And I really hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye.